One thing I was going to say in the previous video and didn't about I made the comment that the benefit check I get today was spent 2 weeks ago. So, that mode, that circumstance, it's certainly not something I hadn't lived through before. And I'm sure many other people, have to go through that same thing. I did want to say, though, that should ease up. In 2 weeks from now, it should ease up, because that situation existed because I was so determined to get a year ahead. And I stand behind that 100%, getting a year ahead on the mortgage, because that frees me up to not have that horrible burden on your mind day and night while you're looking for a job and trying to accomplish everything else that has to be accomplished in your life. When you're unemployed, things don't just stop because you don't have a job. Your full-time job does not just become looking for a job. I know that sounds good and that's Hollywood for you, but no, that's BS. Your life goes on the same as it was before, and you have to contend with and deal with everything else that makes up someone's life, and look for another job too. So my point is that I was determined to get a year ahead. I'm glad I did it. I felt like I truly accomplished something by doing it, and it put me in a severe bind now, but that should ease up, and it will. Now, in 6 weeks' time, the story is probably going to change, because once I breach that final safety net, things will get intense, and it's nothing I hadn't anticipated. And actually, the only thing that's happened to me since I left my job in January, the only thing that's happened to me that I did not anticipate, I didn't anticipate being eligible for benefits. I was certain, beyond any doubt, that the employer would contest it, and in Texas, it's a virtual blank check that any time an employer contests you leaving a job, you will not be eligible for benefits. It's absolute dirty poker. It's outrageous, but that's the way it is in a weak union state like Texas is. It's a right-to-work state, meaning the employers can fire you without cause, and that's, as far as I'm concerned, that's outrageous. But that's the way it is. And I did not anticipate having this. To me, it's a luxury. I am not kidding you. But I know that it'll run out here in the next 6 weeks. So things will change dramatically. The pressure will really go up on me, like it would on anybody. And today I went to, I was saying about the medicine, having to cut back on 80% of the medicine that I take. And I told Walgreens to tell me ahead of time what the cost would be, since I don't have insurance. And I got busy and they didn't tell me, and I told them I'd be back in 2 days to pick it up. So it really doesn't matter. It's the two medicines I cannot live without. So whatever it is, and I'm guessing it's going to be around a couple $100, $300 or something like that. I hope it's not any more than that. Anyway, what was the point in finding out the price anyway? You got to have it, and no matter what the bind is it puts you in. Anyway, there was one other point I wanted to cover, and it's a very somber point, and that is I'm here at an ice cream parlor. I'll just say that. Don't know if you can tell it in the background or not, but anyway, I'm going to meet my great nephews, and since I don't have children or grandchildren, they're the closest thing that I have to grandchildren, and it's caused me, the situation has caused me to think that it's worth mentioning that when you're in the situation that I'm in, it's a very bitter reality that Grandpa doesn't have money for ice cream. Not having actual grandchildren, I have to say and be honest, it's not having children and grandchildren it's beyond my experience to know. I know I love them. I believe in the bottom of my heart that I love them the same way that, and my nephews, that I would love my own children and grandchildren because I had a hand in raising them. My only point of this is that I feel like they're my grandchildren, and I can say that if anybody else who's out there that in this situation, that it is a reality that you have kids and grandkids, and it's a reality you can't afford even to give them ice cream. It's such a bitter reality. You still want to be with them and do things, and when they're young enough to, not fully grasp the gravity of, financial problems, the being stoic, holding your head up. Grandpa's never supposed to have problems like this. He's seen as the Rock of Gibraltar to his kids and grandkids, and in my case, to my nephews and great-nephews. I'm just simply making a notation of that fact of life. It's not to the point, for me anyway, it's not to the point that they comprehend the situation, and that's good, so you can hide it. That's my point, this is the, life can be so bitter and so sweet. Anyway, those are just 2 points I wanted to make. That the financial situation should ease in another. It was 6 weeks that I put myself in a severe bind by getting a year ahead, and I'm so glad I could do it. It was well worth the suffering, and I wish that other people could do that. And oh my gosh, the stress it takes off of you. Short-term stress now, today, yes. And that also takes the form of, the little bit of pain of that Grandpa can't afford the things that he would otherwise. But the other thing was, the financial thing should ease a little bit, and then the medicine, we'll see how that plays out. One medicine that's really important is still kind of up in the air, but I got the 2 that I can't live without anyway. So, anyway, c'est la vie, and it'll, as the French say, au revoir, and or actually, I guess that's the Swiss, isn't it? Au revoir, and keep on plugging, like I say.